The Constitution of India encompasses right to privacy under Article 21, which is a requisite of right to life and personal liberty. Stressing on the term privacy, it is a dynamic concept which was needed to be elucidated. The scope of Article 21 is multidimensional under the Indian Constitution. Law of torts, criminal laws, as well as property laws also recognize right to privacy. Privacy is something that deals with individual privacy and also which was needed to be protected earlier before the passing of a landmark case, that is case Puttaswamy Union of India in 2017, as it was previously not considered a fundamental right under the Indian Constitution. However, our Indian judiciary at present carved out a distinctive precedent regarding privacy, and an upshot of that is right to privacy. It is now recognized as fundamental right, which is intrinsic under Article 21. There are plethora of cases on privacy, but none of the cases were in favor of considering privacy as a fundamental right. Only after passing of a landmark case, that is case Puttaswamy Union of India in 2017, right to privacy is given due recognition. Right to privacy is not only conceded nationally but also internationally under various conventions. What is right to privacy? According to the Black Laws Dictionary, right to privacy means right to be let alone, the right of a person to be free from any unwarranted interference. The basic thought behind prefacing of such a principle was to protect a personal writings and personal productions, and its scope extends not only from theft and physical misuse but against publication in any form. Hence, due to continuous changes in technology and development caused the threatening of an individual in public gawk, then various suggestions were given by many eminent jurists and also suggested the aspects of right to be left alone to be added in the law of privacy. Fundamental rights are basic rights which are inherent in every human being, and such rights should be endowed with every citizen of the country along with proper remedies. Certain confidential and furtive part of human beings can't be proclaimed at public domain. After passing of the recent case of 2017, right to privacy has obtained impetus throughout the world and it has been renowned as a fundamental right to privacy. Various countries have given their convincing recognition to right to privacy such as USA, UK, India and various international organizations such as UDHR, ICCP and ECHR have also given their valid recognition. Constitutional provisions as to right to privacy under Article 21. No person shall be deprived of his life or person liberty except according to procedure established by law as envisaged under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. In first, the term life, that is inclusive of Article 21, includes all those aspects of life which go to make a man's life meaningful, complete, and worth living. The strategy adopted by the Supreme Court adopted this strategy of right to privacy with a view to expand the ambit of the Article 21. What is life? A critical question is raised while studying the relationship between Article 19 and 21 during emergency as to whether there existed a natural law right to life and personal liberty after the suspension of Part 3 of Constitution of India. In ADM Jabalpur v Shivkant Shukla, the Honorable Supreme Court held that there existed no right to life and personal liberty beyond Article 21, and the state's suspension of Part 3 was constitutionally valid. Right to life, as it is recognized as the most fundamental of all, is very difficult to define. With reference to a corresponding provision in 5th and 14th Amendment of the US Constitution, which say that no person shall be deprived of his life, liberty, or property without due process of law. What is personal liberty? The expression liberty in the Fifth and the 14th Amendment to the US Constitution is given a very wide meaning. It takes in all the freedoms that a human being is expected to have, in contrast to the US Constitution. Article 21 qualifies liberty by personal, which leads to the inference that scope of liberty under our Constitution is narrower than that in the US Constitution. Various aspects regarding right to privacy, phone tapping, and right to privacy. Phone tapping and right to privacy is affected by a new technological development relating to a person's correspondence and hence has become a debating issue. In R.M. Malkani, state of Maharashtra, the Supreme Court observed that court will not tolerate safeguards for protecting of the citizen to be imperiled by permitting the police to proceed by unlawful or irregular methods. Telephone tapping being foray of right to privacy and freedom of expression, and also government cannot impose restrictions on publishing defamatory materials against its officials that make it violative of article 21 and article 19(1) part A of the constitution. Gender priority on privacy under aspect of right to privacy includes gender priority that implies not merely the prevention of the incurrent portrayal of the private life but the right to prevent it being respected at all. Even a woman of easy virtue is entitled to privacy, and no one has the right to invade her privacy. Every female has the basic right to be treated with decency and proper dignity. Health and privacy. Health sector is an important matter of concern in privacy and also one of the major aspects of right to privacy. Health information not only includes information about the health or disability but also the information related to health service one may receive. It is a human tendency that information regarding health is considered highly sensitive by many people. The right to life is so important that it supersedes right to privacy. A doctor is under an oath or under medical ethics for not to disclose the secret information about the patient, as the disclosure will adversely affect or put in danger the life of other people. Right to privacy and security of state. India implemented a wide range of data sharing and surveillance schemes after the Mumbai attacks in 2008 so as to increase public safety by tackling crime and terrorism, so as to centralize the interception of communications, data, and enable law enforcement against to access. The central monitoring system is created. After the implementation of such system, it would be connected to the telephone call interception system TCIS, which will help monitor voice calls, SMS and MMS, fax communications on landlines, CDMA, video calls, GSM and 3G networks. Other projects and scheme include the Lawful Intercept and Monitoring LIM Systems (NatGrid) and CCTN's project to name a few. Right to privacy is a requisite of right to life and personal liberty under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. Right to privacy is not an absolute right. It may be subject to certain reasonable restrictions for prevention of crime, public disorder, and protection of others, but it may, apart from contract, also arise out of a specific relationship that may be commercial, matrimonial, or even political, and also where there is a conflict between these two derived rights. The one which advances public morality and public interest will prevail. Considering ourselves a part of a society, we often countermand that we are individuals first in this world, and each and every person or individual need his or her private space. So as to give each individual that right, the state accordingly is giving those private moments to be enjoyed with those whom they want with the prying eyes of the rest of the world. As every day is advancing, this right is becoming more and more essential with all our eyes being exposed to the media through social networking sites or the spy cameras. The protection is to be given to everyone and it should act in such a manner that no one should think to intrude the right to privacy of the individuals. Privacy should be protected in every aspect, but it is subjected to reasonable restrictions under the provision of Constitution of India and other relevant statutory provisions in force. One needs to understand that privacy should be kept in mind and within the confined limits, not to explain to the rest of the world.